Hi, Joe Bodek here, real estate investor and mentor coach. And as always, I want to thank you for stopping by. You know, as you all know, when the bat signal shines bright in the night sky in Gotham, Batman springs into action. And the one thing that Batman counts on when coming to the rescue of the citizens of Gotham is all the gadgets contained in his utility belt. Now, as a real estate investor, we come to the rescue of homeowners in need of our services. But in most cases, rather than armed with a real estate utility belt full of solutions, most investors arrive as a one-trick pony. Yes, it's great to be proficient in one real estate niche that could help the homeowner, but what if the niche isn't the answer to the homeowner's problem? One good example I can give you rests with wholesalers. The scenario usually goes something like this. The wholesaler gets a call from a homeowner in trouble who needs to get out from under his property. The wholesaler gathers the information on the property and does his due diligence, only to find that the property doesn't have enough equity to make the deal work, or the seller won't take his low offer. At that point, the wholesaler throws the lead in the trash and moves on to the next lead. All that time and money spent to find the leads, and most of them go into the trash. What a waste of time and money. Years ago, I learned the term transaction engineer from a pretty famous guru, and it allowed me to expand my income greatly just because I was open to the many different real estate niches that are out there. Yes, you need to work the real estate niche that you find most profitable for you, but to not be a transaction engineer and ignore all the other opportunities that present themselves is costing you a lot of cash. So let me take this opportunity to show all of you wholesalers out there how you can become a transaction engineer and put $60,000 to $120,000 of additional cash flow in your pocket this year without making any major changes to your existing business model. In other words, don't stop what you're already doing. Keep doing it. Do more of it. Just add a few money makers to your utility belt. Now, as with most new creative real estate investors, the first niche that I worked indeed was wholesaling. And things were going along quite nicely. Till one day I happened to look at the trash can by my desk, and I noticed that it was filled with property information forms for properties that I had tried to get under contract, but wasn't able to because there wasn't enough equity in the property to do the deal, or the seller wouldn't take my low offer. Sounds somewhat familiar? Should, okay? As I looked at all those trash leads and added up all the time and cash that it took to find them in the first place, it dawned on me that there had to be a way to turn some or all of those dead leads into cash deals. I mean, look, it defied common sense to work that hard, spend all that cash to find all those leads, and then just toss 90+% of them into the trash. So I don't recall how long it took as I learned sub two, fix and flip, and owner finance. And eventually I did find another real estate niche that solved this particular problem. And I became a transaction engineer. Now, I noticed that on average, it took me 25 leads to get one deal. Now, that's my number. Yours may be different, okay? But it took me 25 to get one deal. So that meant that I was throwing at least 24 leads in the trash every month at a bare bones minimum. So enter wholesale lease options. Now, I found that wholesale lease options worked almost identical to the wholesaling I was already doing, and would allow me to turn many of those trash leads into cash deals because I didn't need tons of equity in the property, and I didn't have to make lowball offers to the sellers. As a matter of fact, I could deal with properties with little to no equity, and I could give the seller a fair price for his property and still make a pretty good profit on the deal. So first, let me show you how a wholesale lease option works with one of the hundreds of deals that I've done. So you'll see that it's almost exactly what you're already doing right now. So I get a call from a homeowner by the name of Dana, who has a property about an hour from me, and he's got a problem. Recently took a job in New Jersey, and he's currently living in Pennsylvania. And he's spending about 2 hours to get to work and about the same to get home every day. And it's driving him nuts. He's in the car more than he's in his house, okay? Oh, and by the way, this is what we call a motivated seller. He's got a problem he needs to solve. He's got to move to Jersey, closer to work. So I had spoken to Dana months earlier, but the property was listed, and went into my dead lead file, and I followed up by email about every 30 days for a few months. And as I say, about a few months later, my phone rings and it's Dana. Apparently, the realtor he was using couldn't get the house sold, so Dana came back to me. And I believe the reason that they couldn't get it sold was because there wasn't very much equity in the property. So she had to raise the price substantially to get their commission. I think they priced it out of the market. That's my take on what happened. But at any rate, they couldn't get it sold. So Dana and I, we negotiated the deal over the phone. The result was a sale price of $235,000 with a monthly lease payment of $1,000 per month. And this is for his 4-bedroom colonial. It was in great shape and all ready to go, which is another nice thing about lease options. You can deal with pretty houses in nice areas. You don't have to be chasing after junkers all day long. Anyway, I sent the contract to Dana by email using a company called DocuSign, which allows you to electronically sign documents over the internet. And I also got him to put a rent-to-own sign in front of the house while I placed rent-to-own ads in Craigslist and all the other classified real estate sites. I upped the price of the house to $245,000, and a week or so later, Joe gives me a call, and he's got need for a bigger home, and he wants to take a look at the house. So I negotiate the deal over the phone, and I have Dana show the home to Joe. Joe decides they want the house, and after I do my due diligence on Joe, I send him a lease option contract via DocuSign, then did the assignment, and it was about 4 weeks after I put the house under contract with Dana. I had a check in my hands for $10,000 as an option consideration. I'm real happy. Joe's real happy, and Dana, of course, is ecstatic. It was like he was like a bullet taking off for New Jersey, right? Now, here's the part you're really going to like. I never saw the house in person, never met the owner face to face, never personally showed the house, never met the tenant buyer face to face, and never touched the house in any way, shape, or form. Everything was done through email and by phone, with the exception of the tenant buyer sending me the check by snail mail. So as you can see, with only a few small adjustments, it's exactly what you're already doing. So how does that $60,000 to $120,000 of unrealized profit come into play? All right. As I already told you, I was throwing away a minimum of 24 leads per month. And I found that at a minimum, I could turn at least one, usually more, but at least one of those 24 leads into a wholesale lease option. So my option consideration on these deals range from $5,000 to $10,000. So if you do a little math, you'll see that I was able to add somewhere between $60,000 to $120,000 to my cash flow from leads that I had been throwing in the trash, just like you're doing right now. So as you can see, by becoming a transaction engineer, I was able to add a substantial amount of cash to my bottom line without making any changes to my existing business model. So I'm not telling you to stop doing what you're doing. Okay. All I did was add one incredibly profitable niche to my business and take a little time to learn how to work with lease options. So if common sense prevails, and I always say it generally doesn't, but if common sense prevails in this instance, that's what you should be doing too. I mean, I don't get it, guys. Why would you want to continue to throw all that cash into the trash now that you know better? It makes no sense to keep spending all that money and throwing leads in the trash. Now, the only problem left to solve is that you don't know much about lease options. Well, hang in there. I got the cure for that as well. So the above example is just the tip of the iceberg. What if you had 6 different creative real estate niches that you could turn to work just about any lead that came across your desk? And that's what I call a transaction engineer. And it just so happens that my partner, Wallace Zal, who I always like to mention is a self-made creative real estate multimillionaire, so he's no slouch. This guy knows what he's doing. So Wallace and myself have put together a revolutionary mentoring program called the Transaction Engineer Mentoring Program. Our combined 60 plus years of real estate experience allows us to teach you 6 different highly profitable creative real estate niches, and we'll even walk you through the deals from start to finish if you'd like. This is one-on-one mentoring from 2 highly skilled real estate investors with millions and millions of dollars in done deals over the past 50 years. And our programs are designed for serious investors. If you're just a looker, this may not be for you. If you're a serious investor, then understand that continuing to be a one-trick pony is never going to get you where you want to go. Then we're looking for you. So as I say, we're looking for highly motivated investors that would like to become transaction engineers and be able to tackle any lead that comes across their desk and add thousands of dollars to their bottom line. Now, to get you on the road to becoming a transaction engineer, you need to go to executivementoring1.com/programs. That's executivementoring1.com/programs. Or to make it easy, just click on the button right below this video, okay? And that'll take you where you can view all the programs that we have to offer. At the bottom of that page, you'll see a button that says application for mentoring. So click on that button, fill out the form, and my partner Wallace will contact you to set up an interview to see if we would make a good fit. And if we do, he'll formulate a program unique to your particular needs. Look, guys, the interview is free. There's no obligation of any sort. And look, man, it never hurts to have a conversation. That's all we're doing here. See if we can help you or not, okay? So if you're watching this video on YouTube, by the way, you'll find the link in the discussion section right below the video. So all you got to do is click on it, and it'll take you to that page where all the programs are, right? And if you're watching this video on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification so you don't miss out on upcoming videos, of which there will be many. And we'd really appreciate it if you'd like this video and our channel. Oh, and also don't be shy, because we'd love to get your feedback. So feel free to leave a comment. So if you're the serious investor that we're looking for, you really should get on this now. You'll be glad that you did. And I can promise you one thing for certain. The interview with Wallace will not hurt a bit. So be sure to get your interview booked. And always remember that it never hurts to explore the possibilities. So Wallace and I are looking forward to assisting you to becoming a real estate transaction engineer. And as always, I want to thank you for your kind attention. I hope you learned a little something, and hopefully we'll be working with you like now. We're ready, okay, whenever you are. So have a great one, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye for now.